I want to talk about the problem of instant gratification. We now live in a society where instant gratification is everywhere. It's very easy to get instant gratification. Probably your mobile phone is the source of your instant gratification. Takeaway food, watching certain videos online, YouTube, whatever it is. You just want what you want now. And there's a dopamine element. I'm going to be covering all of that in this video. It's quite a deep dive. And I'm coming at this from a therapeutic sense. So the reason that we reach for the instant gratification is probably so that we don't want to feel certain emotions. So I'm going at it from that point of view, and this is really life-changing. I'm not asking you to reveal too much about yourself. It doesn't need to be that personal, but instant gratification is probably coming from that place. So let's deep dive into this. This is life-changing advice for me. It's really powerful stuff for me, and I just want to share that with you. So let's get stuck in. So before we go any further, I want to define what is instant gratification. So we have three definitions. Definition A, instant gratification is a habit where you forego short-term pain and instead indulge in fleeting pleasures that ultimately result in long-term pain. Or it's a form of self-sabotage where you get caught up indulging in the temptations of life at the cost of your long-term goals. Or C, it is living from the limbic brain of pleasure. It's the emotional brain. So A, instant gratification being the habit where you just can't seem to forego that short-term pleasure. You have to have it now. And obviously, well, actually not obviously, but this is coming from the fact that maybe in childhood you weren't given things. You had to just get what you needed when you can. So it's a defense mechanism. Or B, it's a form of self-sabotage where you get caught up in temptations. It's just temptations are so easy for you to give into. Or C, it's coming from that emotional brain. An emotional brain is what we get locked in as a child. And if we don't develop that neocortex, that means we get locked in the emotional brain and we just don't have that part of our brain, that prefrontal cortex, which is not strong enough to just forego these pleasures. Instant gratification. Instant gratification. Understanding the root cause and the path to change. 1. Instant gratification is a symptom, not the problem. What it really is. Instant gratification is not inherently a flaw in willpower or discipline. It's a coping mechanism designed to avoid emotional discomfort. When we binge watch shows, overeat, or endlessly scroll, we aren't just procrastinating, we're numbing deeper unresolved pain. So as I said, this is something a little bit deeper. You may have to go a little bit deeper in this video. I'm not going to pull any punches in this video. What you're really trying to avoid is something a little bit uncomfortable below the surface. And you don't need to go too deep, but what you need to do if you want to overcome certain things is really realize that you're avoiding some kind of emotional pain. There's something there that you just can't sit with. So we reach for the cookies, we reach for the midnight snacks, we doom scroll, we isolate, we avoid certain people, we avoid pushing our comfort zone, whatever it is, and it's coming from whatever happened to us when we were younger that gets us locked into this limbic brain, this childlike brain. The role of childhood trauma in instant gratification, how it begins. As children, we crave love, safety, and validation. When these needs go unmet, whether through neglect, criticism, or inconsistent care, we internalize a belief that we are not enough. This belief creates emotional wounds, shame, inadequacy, and fear of rejection. These childhood wounds don't disappear with age. Instead, they manifest as a constant undercurrent of discomfort in adulthood. To escape these uncomfortable feelings, people turn to quick fixes that offer momentary relief, food, social media, and other distractions. The key realization is this. Every act of instant gratification is a response to old emotional wounds. Recognizing this connection is a critical step in healing. So for me to realize this, it took a lot of time and it was a big realization. Yeah, I'm trying to hide from something. What happened to me? I would look into this, and this was the first step. So self-awareness is the first step. Why instant gratification feels good but leaves you empty. The dopamine trap. Instant gratification works by hijacking your brain's reward system. When you engage in a pleasurable activity like eating junk food or checking likes on social media, your brain releases dopamine, giving you a short-term high. The aftermath. Once the dopamine wears off, you're left with the same unresolved feeling you were trying to escape. often compounded by guilt or shame for giving in again. This reinforces this cycle. Discomfort then leads to quick fix, which then makes you feel guilty, which then leads to you feeling more discomfort, and then more discomfort, and then you needing that quick fix again, and you just cannot get off this horrible cycle, this merry-go-round of feeling guilty, then feeling the discomfort, self-attacking, whatever it is. The dialogue will kick in, see, you always mess up, and you just go round and round. And it may lay dormant for a while. You feel like you've gotten through it. You try to push through with willpower, but then you feel discomfort again. You need that quick fix, then the guilt kicks in. It's wherever you may be on this stage, there is a way out of this, which I'm going to explain in this video. So stick around. Helpful insight. Understanding that the emptiness after instant gratification is normal, not a personal failure, can help reduce shame and break the cycle. So this is big, and this is probably the main thing you need to take away from this video. Wherever you are in this shame cycle of instant gratification, you have to realize that it's normal. So when you're self-attacking, being like, you always do this, you're not strong enough, you need more willpower, see, you always mess up, that's the problem. It's not that the thing itself is too alluring, because it is, and probably it's wreaking havoc on your dopamine levels. Self-attacking is the problem, and that's what's creating this, what's fueling this cycle. So when you're fueling this cycle, and I've said in many videos, that's the issue. It's not the thing itself. You think you need more discipline, more willpower, just be more disciplined, have more willpower. No, because it's inferring that you're weak, and what you're feeling is completely normal. Everybody feels this way. So you have to have this self-compassion at the first step. This is the first thing you need. You have to draw a line under this, stop self-attacking, and then you learn that way, rather than trying to push through, trying to go without, and then eventually, like an elastic band, it just spring back, and then you sabotage even harder. Because you're self-attacking, you're like, see, I just need this, I deserve this. However entitled you feel to this instant gratification that is masking these wounds, making you feel better. Breaking the cycle, facing the root cause. Step 1, awareness of emotional triggers. Ask yourself, what am I trying to escape when I reach for my phone, food, or other distractions? Triggers are often linked to feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, or fear of failure. Identifying these patterns is the first step. Step 2, recognize avoidance as survival mode. Avoidance behaviors like instant gratification aren't laziness, they're survival strategies your brain developed to protect you from pain. Key insight, reframing this perspective can foster self-compassion, reducing the shame that fuels the cycle. This is key. Self-compassion is key. You'll stop fueling that cycle, and then you can move on. You have to sit with the discomfort, the antidote to avoidance, why it's necessary. Emotional wounds need to heal. By sitting with your discomfort instead of avoiding it, you create space to process and release those feelings. How to do it? Stay with the emotion. Let the discomfort exist without trying to fix it. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience. Write it out. Journaling can help you explore your feelings and uncover patterns. The key insight, emotions lose their intensity when you allow yourself to feel them fully. Avoiding them only gives them power. So for me, binge eating and snacking late at night, I had to just sit there and go through the motions of being with that feeling and being like, what is it I'm trying to mask here? What feeling is it? Is that feeling really that bad? What is that feeling trying to tell me? Can I just sit with that feeling? Can I handle it? And I would just sit with that feeling just 5 minutes at a time. Just 5 minutes. And that really released a lot of that sting. Building constructive coping mechanisms, replacing quick fixes with healthy habits. Instead of reaching for distractions, experiment with activities that provide long-term fulfillment. Meditation, physical exercise, creative hobbies, or meaningful social connections. These practices build resilience and reduce the need for instant gratification over time. Mindful consumption. If you choose to indulge in a treat or distraction, do so intentionally. For example, eat a piece of chocolate slowly, savoring each bite instead of mindlessly consuming. So, like I said, when I was doing this, when I was breaking my instant gratification, when I was breaking my pattern of binging at like 11 o'clock at night, what I did was I was mindfully consuming these cakes that I would eat, and I would eat them really slowly and just indulge in them and realize what it is that I was really enjoying. Whereas before, I would just eat them really quickly, like, "Rah," and I'd look and be like, I didn't even taste anything. It was just unconscious. So what you got to do is slow down and actually enjoy it, and actually does break that knee-jerk reaction just to not want to feel whatever it is that you don't want to feel. Savoring each bite instead of mindlessly consuming. So like I said, when I was doing this, when I was breaking my instant gratification, when I was breaking my pattern of binging at like 11 o'clock at night, what I did was I was mindfully consuming these cakes that I would eat, and I would eat them really slowly and just indulge in them and realize what it is that I was really enjoying. Whereas before, I would just eat them really quickly, like, "Rah," and I'd look and be like, I didn't even taste anything. It was just unconscious. So what you got to do is slow down and actually enjoy it, and actually does break that knee-jerk reaction just to not want to feel whatever it is that you don't want to feel. Understanding guilt and self-forgiveness. Why guilt keeps you stuck. Many people feel shame after giving into their instant gratification, which perpetuates. Why guilt keeps you stuck. Many people feel shame after giving into instant gratification, which perpetuates this cycle. Guilt convinces you that you've failed, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. Reframe your response. Treat lapses with curiosity instead of judgment. What was I avoiding just now? How can I handle this differently next time? Each slip is an opportunity to learn and grow, not proof of failure. So this is key. You have to really learn from when you make these mistakes. You cannot sit there self-attacking, being like, oh, I'm no good, see, you always mess up. Really, this takes time, and that's why journaling is so powerful. But really get into what happened, what were you feeling, what triggered you, and what was it? Get curious. What was it that you really wanted to escape at that time? And I promise you also that reframe this to, these are the clues. When you do relapse, that's a clue to what it is that you need to overcome. What it is. Reframing these relapse is key. What it is that what these relapses are telling you, they're giving you the gold. They're giving you the answer. They're the key to this. Because when you do relapse, you can ask yourself, what is it I was trying to avoid? What feeling was I trying to avoid? What am I really? And just sit with that feeling. Then you reframe that response rather than self-attacking, being like, oh, see, this is going to be too difficult. You're always going to do this. You're always going to mess up. Instead of doing that, really get introspective and be curious about why, and try and feel whatever it is that you were feeling in that moment, and see if you can just handle it, because you can. Healing from childhood wounds, the long-term solution. Understanding the core wound. At the heart of instant gratification lies the belief, I am not enough. Healing this wound requires self-compassion, patience, and often support from therapy or self-reflective practices. Practical steps. Affirm your worth daily, even when it feels untrue. Over time, these affirmations shift your self-perception. Revisit your childhood experiences and allow yourself to grieve unmet needs. This can release emotional baggage that drives avoidance. So, to conclude, key takeaways for change. Instant gratification is not the enemy. It's a symptom of deeper emotional wounds. Childhood trauma often leaves unresolved feelings of inadequacy, fueling the need for distraction. Breaking free requires awareness, self-compassion, and the willingness to face discomfort. Replace avoidance with constructive habits and mindful practices. Forgive yourself when you slip, and view every step as part of the healing journey. By understanding these nuances, the path to overcoming instant gratification becomes clearer, not as a battle against habits, but as a journey towards emotional healing and self-acceptance. Let me know if you'd like further insight. I hope you like that video, guys. There's something that's really helped me is this self-compassion, really breaking that shame loop. So you've really got to get introspective here. And it could just be that you are just indulging in certain things But if you really cannot stop, then really stick to the advice in this video. Anyway, if anything in this video has helped, comment below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, are my videos resonating with you? Is this helping? Really comment below. It really helps out the algorithm. More people can see videos like this. And I promise you, this is something that really helped me, is getting this introspective. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, and obviously subscribe to the channel. More amazing videos like this coming. And if you like that video, go to this video here about self-sabotage and overcome your fear. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.